God, I loved it. I remember my mom used to have to like sit under a seasonal like depression box when we were growing up because it was it's gray 9 to 10 months out of the year in Oregon, and it like
Really?
it rains, I guess probably 10 months out of the year, and then
Oh
it's
my
gray. But the
God.
summers are incredible. But yeah, it was hard. She was like, what the hell am I doing here? But me and
That's
my
like
dad loved
me.
it. Oh
That's
really?
that's like me. I need sunshine. My wife is like you. She's just like, give me cold. Let me. I can't do with this heat. I'm burning. My skin's
Sunshine.
going. And I'm just like, oh, I love this.
That's incredible. How long have you been with your wife for?
So we've been together for 15 years. We've been married for 11. So yeah, we've got a little boy who's 10. Well, he's a big boy now. Yeah, so we're like little
Oh
unit.
my God, this is beautiful. What is your son's name?
His name's Jasper.
Do you
Yeah.
love being? Actually, I'm so happy to talk to you. What is it like balancing motherhood and uh, doing our lives and our career and making music and all that?
It's it's hectic, but I think I always have specific days and times where it's just like it's Jasper Day today. So I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that. My diary's clear, it's Jasper Day. I think it's so important to have that time to give him, so he knows the days we're together, he knows the days I pick him up from school, he knows and he has a routine as well. I think if you just try and find time for people, it never comes. You have to do the time. It has to be almost like a part of your calendar and your diary.
Yeah,
And that
yeah,
sounds crazy. It's making time for your kids in your calendar, but that's what you have to do to make sure they know that their special time with you and you've got that with them. Because
totally.
it's like this. Like literally 10 years he's been here. I can remember the day we were born like it was yesterday. And it just flies so fast. So you
That
have to
is
make the time. Really important.
wow. And do
Yeah.
you feel like, I mean, you tour, and so how?
So I tend to stay UK
Okay, okay,
because for that main reason, like
totally.
because I can sort of like I can take my family with me. There's no stress in like how far we're going to be flying, how many hours we're going to be. So and UK is pretty small. There's
Dude,
you can
y'all
you
are
can
so
travel
lucky.
UK.
You are so lucky. I mean, even like Europe, and I mean, it's a little bit more challenging getting in and out of of London and stuff. But
Yeah.
I can't believe once you're over here how uh, it's just an hour flight anywhere. It feels like it's
Yes,
mind blowing.
literally. You can just be anywhere you want to be so fast. Like
Yeah,
America.
yeah.
It's like you are literally flying hours to get to another place
It's
in the
6 hours.
same.
It's as long. It takes as long to get from New York to LA as it does from New York to London.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah. It's
insane. So
crazy.
would you bring? Do you bring your family, or do you just if you are like gigging around the UK, do you just go and then come back, or what have you
It,
found to
it,
be?
it depends really. It always depends on the place. If I think it's going to be a fun place for Jasper to be, then we kind of all go together. If it's just like say like a 2 day festival and I think it's going to be a bit much for him or whatever, I just
Yeah,
go do my thing, come back home. It's all we always base it around him basically. But I love him to see the life of it as well because he
yeah.
loves music. He just loves music, so it's like it's really nice for him to see things happening. It's really good. Like literally, my laptop is sat on his bongos now. He's got proper bongos. He's like he
Indoctrinating them
loves
young.
it.
That is so cool.
He loves it. He's
It
got
sounds
like everything.
That's so cool. And it sounds like you have a supportive partner to, come with
She
you and
is
maybe take care of
amazing.
the kid. Yeah.
She's amazing. Like, I am sat here now with you because of her. She's just literally pushed me to do this. She's been like, Shak, there's something there. You could do music. Just do it. Go. And I'm like,
No
oh,
way.
Yeah, and she gets in touch with people for me. She gets my music out there. She's like my biggest fan. She's just amazing.
Dude, that is, oh my gosh, those people in our life, it's a little angel. You know, she's actually your guardian
Literally.
angel. You know, beyond being a badass human in their own right, and your partner, but like that is the guardian angel. You know,
Yeah,
that's
literally.
I'm also sitting here right in front of you because of I have a partner who has pushed me and supported me to be here, and that would not have happened
amazing.
otherwise. You know,
It's
because it's
amazing.
like it's so when I first started, at least for me, I was like, why do I think I can be, you know, one in a gazillion artists who can make a living this way? Like, you know, why do I think? And I think that without his like, you know, his unwavering belief, I don't know if I could have found that internally at first.
Yeah, and that is exactly what it is. And because I think you deeply trust that person, I deeply trust Mel, so I will go with what she like tells me to do. Not tells me to do,
my
but if
God.
she says, Shak, it's really good, then I think no matter how many people might give you negative, it's like, I'm trusting what Mel says. Or sometimes she'll be honest and she'll be like, that's not great, that. So I'll be like, okay.
Dude,
We have
this
such
is
a good relationship.
I always say the buck stops with my fiance. Like if he is sort of the I mean and there's gonna we have differences and like I made a song
Yeah.
that I love and he's like I don't like this and I was like well you're an idiot then. But for the most part, you know, like it's really like it's the one part. There's no other you know with even with like your teams. They have other clients, and who knows what they're leveraging other clients for to get it. It's like I just trust that he only has my you know what's best for me and yeah my best interest in mind and I just really he's kind of like the north. I mean as a this job is like you know you're not in a band, it's just you, right? And so to have someone that you can really trust in that way I think is really 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 important for this
Massively.
industry.
Massively.
Yeah. Oh,
And
I
it
hope I
just
get to meet
like-
your partner. Will your partner
You
be at Lost
will.
Village?
Yes. Yeah.
Are you bringing your son?
No, he's staying with his nana. So we
Okay.
are like we're coming to party. So yeah, we are there to like let our hair down.
I
have
love that.
Fantastic time because as much as you have a family and I've got Jasper, we also have to make time for your relationship as well.
Oh, God.
It's just as important. You can't just revolve your life around Jasper, as important as he is, and we love him dearly. We need to stay connected as a couple. So we always do a little thing like this a couple of times a year. He loves staying with his nana, and we just go crazy, let our eyes down, do what we want to do.
So important. So
Yeah.
important. My parents, I feel like I saw that young, how important that was. Have you heard of a band called the Grateful Dead?
No, I've not. Are they
Dude, this is
American?
so, I love talking to people who are from the UK because it never ceases to just not blow my mind. So the Grateful Dead, where would I begin? They were an American band, and so you know they definitely have some. If you're a massive hippie in the 70s over here, you probably know who they are. But
Right, okay.
they came up at the time of counterculture and like hippies and tie-dye, and that is synonymous with the Grateful Dead in the US. They created nobody has done it since this crazy cult following. Right now, the remaining members are 70 plus years old, and they could sell out 25 stadiums in a row in any single city
incredible.
in the United States. Like with having like the lead singer has passed, but I mean it is what they have. Oh my God, the culture that they built, the music, they were the first. They let people. I'm sorry. I'll stop soon. But they let people
No, I love this.
like right away from the beginning. They had a jam band is a band that they never play the same set twice ever. Their sets were like 7 hours long, and you know they'll have songs, but then in the middle of songs they'll break down to jams, and the jams can go for 20 minutes, 25 minutes, and then they'll slowly just sort of like find their way into the next song, and so it's like jazz but in rock. You know, and
yes.
they had sections for tapers to tape every single show, and then they gave away the music for free, because like they were never really about nobody listens to their studio recordings. It was all about the live experience. Like there's this crazy community, like, oh, like I have a tape from 1968 at Watson Stadium when they played Fire Mountain into Scarlet, and like that. I mean, this community. Yeah. My parents are huge Deadheads, and so I grew up in this world, and I actually have ended up playing some shows with them, and I got to introduce my parents to them, and that was like my mom almost passed out. But like I say all this to say, my parents would leave my brother and me with a babysitter, and they would go to Run of Dead shows once a year, and they're like, that is the reason we're still married.
100. It's so important, because like you two, before your sibling came along, your mum and dad had their own special connection. And me and Mel feel like that. Before Jasper, we had our own special connection. And as soon as your kids come along, it turns into a completely different connection.
Yeah.
So you have to keep your original connection alive, because it's not just about the whole family unit, it's about you two as a couple leading the family unit as well. And you two have got to be together like this to do that. It's so important.
I love that. That's really important. That's really beautiful. And I can see how easy it'd be to lose sight of that, as the things are
100.
It's hard enough for me as a single human to, wipe my butt. Like I can't imagine having a kid and, your relationship. And anyways, I'm impressed with that.
The thing is, you just do it. And you would do it. Because you love that little person so much that, like, no matter what happens around you, no matter what's going off, they are the centre of your universe. It's as simple as that. So you're always going to be there for them. Always. And you're a fellow Leo.
When is your birthday?
Mums, end of July. Leo mums, we've got it down. We're
okay,
like this with
my mom is July 29th.
No way!
And dude, the fiercity of a Leo mom is like, honestly, I'm almost scared. Like, I'm like, I can't, like, I already am too much. So if I have a child, is it just going to go through the roof? Like it is Leo moms are full blown.
Full on. It's like, don't mess with my kid. Literally, do not mess with the kid.
And then I'm obviously asking you a lot of questions that are just self-serving for me, because I'm starting to process having a kid and what that would look like. And so when you're like, if there is a gig where you have to leave your family, and then come back, do you have any guilt around that?
That's a good question, because you kind of have a guilt to leave, but then you know that you're leaving to provide. Like, I would never leave my family just to go on a girls' holiday and be like, see you when I get back. I would never do that. That's just not in my nature. But to leave to do your profession and provide, that to me is just a completely different thing. And you're always going to be like, oh, I'm really going to miss you and stuff, but you know that you're going for a proper reason, not just it, and it's not a selfish reason.
Yeah,
it's for everyone involved, your family unit. So it's like, that's your profession, that's what you do. So it's like, everybody gets used to working around it. It's like Mel knows, Jasper knows what the vibe is, and
that's
it's just
so
like,
awesome.
Yeah,
he's probably so proud of you. I have, my mom was like PTA mom, front row to everything, like only worked part-time so that she could, she ran the house. And so like I have this, that's my image of what motherhood is, and it's not going to be my motherhood, and I really struggle with that. I'm not even I'm so far from that, but I'm already struggling with it.
I don't think you should do that. I don't think you should, because like, no matter what happens, you are going to be there for your little one. It's just an instinct that you have. The minute Jasper, so I had a C-section, and they like pulled him out upside down like this with his foot, and we were like, and the minute that I saw him, I was like, done. That's it. That, like, this is the priority of everything.
Wow. God, that is so beautiful and so wild. Okay, so but it's good to hear that even when you're like, this is a priority, because like I am such an extreme human. Like, so my fear is I'll have a kid and then everything I've worked my ass off for this last decade, I'll be like, it doesn't matter anymore. I just want to, I have to give all that up to be the best mom I can be. Like that's my fear, being so into them.
No, because you've always got that part of yourself where you've built something up, regardless of what it is, whether it's the career you've got, whether someone's built up a business for themselves, or whether someone's just got a job that they absolutely love. That's still you inside, so you would never just give that up. You would find a way around it to make it work. And you might not tour as much, you might not do as much touring as you do now, but I don't think you'd be like, bin this off, I've got my kid.
Dude, I left in June. Last time I left my house was in June, and I don't get back till like end of September, and I'm like, because it never makes sense to go home, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm definitely not going to be touring like this. I'll tell you what, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay, you're amazing. Okay, so I want to make sure it's Shak.
Yes.
Man, I assume that's how you put it. There's like you never know. Okay, awesome. Shak is a very cool name. Where is that your birth? Is that where you were given at birth?
Yeah. My actual name is Shakila, but everybody just knows me as Shak.
Shak.
It's just
like so
people find out that my name's not Shak, and they're just like, what? Like this is like short.
You definitely Shak is so right for you. Like that is the right nailed it. Yeah, Shak Jackson. It's very sick name. Okay, so I'm gonna read your little blurb bio about you, and then I'll ask you a handful of questions, 3-4 questions, and that whole section is only like 5 minutes, and that's the part that lives on the radio show on Sirius. Okay. And then the rest we use for socials and whatever. But if there's anything that you want us to cut out, you can be like, please cut that out. Like I might talk about me wiping my ass. I might cut that part out. So
it's fine. I love natural.
I love when I can't stop talking. Okay. You are listening to FEMME House Radio with your host, LP Giobbi, and this week we have classic house, piano house, and tech house producer Shak Jackson from the UK. Shak's house music productions are a tribute to the vibrant grooves, soulful vocals, and infectious energy of the 90s house era. Blending classic elements with modern synths and innovative beats, Shak is creating tracks that resonate with both long-term aficionados and new-age enthusiasts. Her sound is characterized by deep bass lines and captivating hooks. Welcome to FEMME House Radio, Shak.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
Such an honor to have you. Tell us your origin story. How did you get into DJing and producing and self-producing your music?
So it's literally you guys and the FEMME House vibe. That is what pushed me to do
You're lying.
Production and everything I'm doing. I swear to God. Honestly. It literally, you guys in FEMME House. I'm a woman of colour, obviously. I have a wife, and everything that you guys stand for and push and talk about and everything like that. Me and my wife just got together and we're just like, you need to like just try and do this. Just go for it. Just do it. Because it's just so male dominated. It's so male dominated.
Dude, I had no natural ability actually. Like I'm learning Ableton, and like it was not at all. I purely did it. I was like, we just need to see more of ourselves represented. Like that's the thing that kept me, getting up day after day. And thank goodness, because now I love it. But yeah, that was a sharp learning curve. But this was the why. But actually, what your songs are incredible. What do you haven't? To me, it sounds like you have been making music since you were 10. And I mean like producing music since you were 10.
No. Literally, I've been obsessed with music since being small. I used to go to school, worn out and tired, from sneakily listening to pirate radio stations in my bedroom at night. I was just obsessed. I used to be like this with my little headphones on, like, shh, my mum and dad, hope they don't hear. And I used to go to school, I used to be so tired. I was just obsessed with music, obsessed. And then it kind of like grew from there. And I started messing around with little beats and doing little things. And my wife said, look, I think you've got a bit of a skill here. You need to try and do this. FEMME house, FEMME house, FEMME house. Look, just go for it, do it. And that's literally it. That is my story. That is my story. It's just music obsession.
Dude, I've teared up. I have all the goosebumps covering my body. Okay, I'm going to, once this is over, I'm going to come back to this because I don't want to cry right now. That is the coolest thing that I can ever hear, ever, period. You are my why. Thank you. It can be extremely challenging for artists to figure out how to put out their music. And it's a question that I get quite a bit. I know you distribute your own music. Can you break down what that looks like? What distributor are you using? And what tips would you give to someone looking to get their music out in the world?
So we just literally email people with playlists on Spotify. They're really good. To find out people who have specific playlists on Spotify, that's a really good way to do that. So like whatever genre music you're about, there are ways to find out people who have really good playlists for these genres to get your music out for people to listen to and to be heard.
And do you mean outside of the Spotify editorial playlists?
Yes.
Oh.
So we have so me and my wife have spent a lot of time sort of like finding people, like you said, outside of the editorial who have really good playlists with really good listeners, really good saves, and to get in touch with these people direct. I think because we're quite naive to the world of what you're actually meant to be doing, it kind of helps because
100%.
we just approach people. And for me, I think to myself, the worst thing that's going to happen is someone's just going to say no. And then you try again and try again and try again. And I think you've got to just keep working hard to get people to listen to your music. And
this is incredible.
If you just keep doing that, all of a sudden, things do start to happen. I mean, look at this today. I'm sat here now speaking to you today. And I am an actual fan. I'm a massive fan. It's like amazing.
God. I mean, I have been all last night. I was devouring your music, and I'm actually cannot wait to tell my partner that answer to the first question because
literally
we were like, how can you work with her? Like, I mean, you really do have a natural knack for this. I cannot believe that. Wow. How do you put your music, like, I mean, if you were pretending like I'm a complete novice, what are you using? DistroKid or like how actually are you distributing?
Yeah, DistroKid. Okay. That's the way we do it. DistroKid, yeah. Okay. Awesome. And then, just finding people on Instagram who might be talking about like...
So smart.
Yeah, advertising certain kind of music or whatever, and we just direct message. This is what I'm doing. Listen to this. If you like it, let me know. And giving your music freely giving your music to people who are interested in playing music out. Free downloads. Please have a listen to my track. Have it. Use it. Play it. It's not all about the money. It's about getting your music out there. And I've had videos where people have sent me, they've been playing out my track and people have been dancing to it. That to me means more than getting a few quid from a stream.
100%.
Literally, I'm like, Mel, these people are actually dancing and having a good time to something that you've created.
I mean, I played Barcelona on Saturday, and it was after like 5 countries in 5 days, playing until 5 a.m, going straight to the airport, and I was like my mental health was not great, and I had to play until I think my set was like 4 to 6 a.m. in Barcelona, and I stepped up there and I played one of my songs, which I don't always do in my sets, and I for some reason I started one, and to see them dancing, I was like, you know what, Leah, shut the fuck up, like look at this. Like, look at, like, not in a million years this kid from Eugene, Oregon ever think that there would be people in a different country dancing to your music. Like, this is,
Amazing.
I don't care how tired I am. This isn't,
Yeah.
it is such a gift. And also, your hustle is so inspiring and actually so brilliant. I mean, people kind of sort of put out the music and they wait and they hope that, and like your proactiveness is that, I mean, that's, everybody should hear this. Wow.
Yeah. You can't just put your music on platforms and just expect people to find it.
Absolutely not.
It's like you can't, and you have to look at the bigger picture of giving your music away. It's like, even somebody within that crowd, even if 2 people Shazam that song, that's going to be 2 people going away and streaming that song.
Totally. And also, even that Shazam, Apple pays attention to Shazams and they start playlisting. I mean, it's the ecosystem, like, is actually pretty cool. And you're working it. Your new track, Styming, am I saying that right? Stimming, sorry. Your new track, Stimming, is quite personal for you. Can you tell us what stimming is and how it applies to your life?
So this is a special track, that I created because my boy is 10 years old now and he has autism. So what he does is he stims, and for anybody who doesn't really know what stimming is, it's a repetitive movement or noise that someone will do to self-regulate. So people might do it if they're stressed or anxious. My boy does it when he's overexcited. I mean, he gets so overexcited about everything. You tell him that we're going for fish and chips and he's stimming. Like, he gets excited. So this track is all about embracing the stim, but it's a bigger picture of embracing difference. Like, if someone's doing something or acting in a certain way that's not quite cool to you, it's like, embrace the difference. And he's taught me that. In his 10 years of being here, he's taught me so much about embracing and giving people time. I think we're always in such a rush, and you cannot just throw questions at Jasper. You cannot do that. His mind processes things in a completely different way to mine. And I've learnt this through life now when I'm speaking to people through life. People need time sometimes. And I think we're all just in this massive rush, aren't we? And we need to just be like this, and we need to just accept that people are different. And it's like, and music has such a power to do that. You're telling me a big crowd of people, they're not all from different races, different beliefs, backgrounds, sexual preferences, and they're all together in that moment. That is powerful, that. We're getting deep, LP.
Dude, Shak, you are, wow. You are breathing new life into my soul more than you could ever possibly know. You are so special. Oh man, that is, and the track is amazing. I think it's so cool to use your platform to talk about this and make such beautiful thing from it. And I'm so impressed with you. Okay, well, final question for you. What advice would you give your younger self?
To not care so much. Literally not care so much. Not be so bothered whether people like you, like what you're doing, love you, or whatever. It's like to just get on and be. And if you believe in something and you believe that you can do it and you believe in what you're doing, just do it. This is what I've learned massively as I've got older, and especially in this music thing. If I keep believing in what I'm making, what I'm producing, what I'm doing, then it's just like, just go with it, because it's making you happy. Whatever makes you happy, do whatever makes you happy, I think. That's what I would have always told my younger self. If you're happy doing that, forget what anybody says and just go do it.
Do it.
Yeah.
Shak, you are incredible. Your music is incredible. I truly am next level blown away by you. We are huge fans. I'm a huge personal fan. Thank you so much for taking the time to sit with us today. You are really special, and the world is lucky to have you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Mwah.